Hello, I am starting a game here of Age of Empires where we're going to be having a theme of the Pacific Islands off the coast of Asia. Um, the entire point of this channel is to be a mixture of gaming and discussion about language, history, and culture. Generally, I find that I gravitate to people who are strongly interested in these topics, and I talk to them because they're knowledgeable. So I'm particularly interested in languages, and it's been my goal for a long time to learn how other people learn languages and to emulate them. And that's exactly what I've been doing. So, for example, right now I have Jared. Say hello, Jared.
Hello.
And Jared is living in. Actually, where are you living right now, Jared? Why don't you go
I'm
ahead
living
and
in
introduce
Brooklyn,
yourself?
New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah. So my name is Jared. I'm living in Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Connecticut originally, although I've had the misfortune of living in four U.S. states as well as in five different countries.
Wow.
And the fact is that ever since I was a toddler, I've been fascinated with places all over the world. And one result of this is that, I ended up, I grew up, went to Hebrew school, and then apparently I started realizing that languages can become my passport in multiple ways. Now, it's a good news and bad news because have studied during my 20s a significant course of breadth, but right now I think I've been focusing a lot more on my favorite languages instead, which, there's a bit, because, like, when I was traveling a lot, it obviously really helped to live the polyglot lifestyle, but now that I'm a little bit more settling down, I think in the fairly distant future, family raising is in the cards, and so as a result, high levels of fluency in my favorite languages would probably be very much required for that. But I got housed again. So I see this is your plan, Chase. You're probably going to get me to talk about myself so that I make significantly poor strategic decisions.
You know what? I
So,
used to play Guilty Gear Midnight Carnival on Xbox Live years ago. This is at least
uh,
a decade ago. And that was one of the tricks. I'd bring up a controversial topic or a topic that the person was really interested in, and I would just destroy them in the meantime. But I promise you that's not my intent right now. Um,
oh, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if it were the case, actually.
uh,
But
I think
I
you
think
are a
it
little bit
actually
more
would
skilled
really,
at me than this game, too, though. So,
yeah,
um, God,
really
you're
well. And
more.
also not to make grammatical errors in any of the languages I speak. That's going to be a little bit harsh as well. But
Why don't we just jump
in
right into
any
the
case,
boat, and
yeah.
I'll explain part of my philosophy is to embrace your mistakes. You can't really learn and improve if you don't um, blatantly just accept that you're gonna make mistakes, and it's better to recognize your mistakes than it is to try to hide them. And that's actually the opposite of something. When I started with Japanese, I would start saying random things that I didn't really know what they mean. I would add all these endings in an attempt to hide uh, the mistakes I made, and I think I would sound better to non-native speakers, but I think native speakers would hear my Japanese and they would say, why are you doing this? Oh God, I didn't make villagers for a while. That's problematic. They say, why are you saying yo in this situation? Why are you saying kayo in this situation? There's just all these endings that were kind of overcomplicating my speech, and it sounded good to people who didn't know Japanese, but to natives, I probably sounded like a bumbling idiot. Um, and I don't want to be somebody who makes that mistake anymore. I would like to recognize my weaknesses and try to fix them. So I just have a different mindset. Have you ever done anything like that where you realize in the past your method was kind of faulty and felt you needed to?
Yes. So what I'm gonna say is probably gonna shock a lot of people, but this is probably one of the biggest misconceptions people have about language learning. But truth be told, sometimes having access to lots of native speakers can actually hold you back.
Interesting.
Here's how. often I think that, for example, if you really go to various events, then you'll end up meeting a lot of learners, have the same conversations over and over again,
Oh.
effectively have a script that you rely on. And as a result, it gives you the illusion of progress when you actually gain no real vocabulary. And the worst thing about it is the fact that you actually get a positive feedback loop because then people tell you, oh, your language X is perfect, when effectively they've only seen a little tiny bit of it as well.
I can
Now,
imagine
granted,
that.
there are some. I think that there is one thing definitely that can be used to, how do I put it? Um, Give you the impression of an experience, and it's extraordinarily difficult to fake. And that is, how do I put it? Using filler words. And the
Oh,
fact is that native speakers are really, really, they're not efficient at all. And usually,
so
and
true.
this is true for non-native English speakers as well, I can tell exactly who's experienced and who isn't based on how many filler words they use. And very interestingly, sounding more like a hick, as it were, can actually work hugely in your favor. And I think that the fact is, like, Chase, when was the last time you heard, for example, a non-native English speaker say something like "Sup, Holmes" or "What's cooking"?
Well, there are some people who they are definitely more attracted to kind of colloquial stuff like that, but generally no. For the most part, I would say no. It's happened, but it's not common.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's very much a thing as well. And often it's like the little tiny things that manage to give people away. And and I also really think that there's the certain inferiority complex as well. So it's interesting because I remember sometimes having some people tell me that like I sounded like a Polish immigrant when I spoke a certain language that really motivated me for me to get it perfect to the point at which like I was convincing people I was a native speaker as a result of for example calling on okay Fast Castle
Is that your plan?
as a result of pop culture references and what have you. So Ajat Katsumoto apparently said something significantly important on his blog, and that is, think about how many movies a Japanese child has watched before the time they turned 7. And here's another thing I was actually talking to my rabbi about earlier. I think a lot of people realize this about polyglottism, but it, I really always have this stinking feeling that I'm almost like a robot trying to imitate an imperfect version of a native speaker, and to some degree that's quite painful for me to deal with because some people like Ollie Richards say things like said that in a sense native speakers have the childhood experiences you'll never have.
Yeah.
Yes and no, but the fact is that there are some people who definitely do go to the extreme. For example, and like Katsumoto said that he even ate Western food with chopsticks, and
You
obviously was
know,
trying to learn how to tell me.
I know. I was just gonna say I get it because I remember how I kind of did the same thing when I was with learning Japanese. I was just trying so hard to understand every little detail of how native Japanese people view the world, how they think, how they, why they do things culturally. It was more of a broad cultural interest. It was not just a linguistic interest. I really wanted to
Food,
know
please.
how. I'm not giving you food. I really wanted to know how Japanese people perceive the world and how that might influence the way they speak and how they say things. So I understand that sentiment.
Food, please.
Yeah, but to what degree does that, how do I put it, linguistic determinism actually exist is also, it's like in Yiddish we say a machlokes. It's a target to operate about. It's a topic to argue about. And it's, I think a lot of, this is another interesting thing. I think a lot of Ashkenazi Jews who don't speak Yiddish possibly assume that a lot of aspects about the Yiddish language are somehow due to Jewish culture. It's true. Definitely many of them are. certainly many of the Hebrew and Aramaic words. However, definitely there is the significant Slavic and Teutonic influence that is also found as well.
You might need
And
to clear up what you mean by Teutonic, because the Teutonic, would that have been like Prussian?
yeah, well, mostly, how do I put it? So, 1,000 years ago, what you would have called Yiddish is Yiddish-Teich, so like a Jewish German. And so, as a result, this does end up, despite the fact that it's now Yiddish and not Deutsch or Deutschish anymore. By the way, full disclosure, I'm a Litvish Yiddish speaker, so the Lithuanian variety. So, what I speak is what some people would consider the prestige dialect of the Lithuanian yeshivas, who are like the Ivy League of that world. But so because there are many different ways to pronounce Yiddish words accordingly, and so like we have an expression "verteidigt und verbessert," which means translated and improved by, like this understanding that like people would translate Yiddish into Shakespeare into Yiddish, and they would say like translated and improved by Jared Gimbel or what have you. And so that's like, despite the fact that you know, it's not Taich anymore, it does survive in a significant amount of expressions as well. Um,
I just got fooded. I'm
yeah,
not doing well right
but
now.
it's also interesting, like Oisteichen, literally to out-Germanify is like to interpret something. And so, like, you could say Freud is gewenne sehr berühmte Geläumis Oisteiche, that Sigmund Freud was a very famous interpreter of dreams. And so there's a story about this from a book I read with my students called Pinchas Helm. And so Helm is a real town in Poland. And I think I'm gonna have to build more. I'm gonna have to build more town centers. Okay, town center. Digit Volostolo. Okay.
I'm going crazy
We
with
go
boats
over
right now,
here.
but it's been a long time since I used these fish traps, so I'm kind of like, oh shoot.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm just having a hard time.
So, I'm also gonna have to start docking a lot more.
Oh shoot, look at these guys.
Wait, hold it. Do I get these? Do I get these up? Oh, I get the as Burmese, I get the wood upgrades for free.
Awesome.
Yeehaw! But in any case, I forgot what I was talking about. So, Thalm is a real town in Poland,
Sorry.
and it's the city of fools. So the fact is that they say that when God was distributing the various when he was distributing the various souls throughout the world, the angels dropped all of the foolish souls on Chelm, in this town of Poland. And as a result, the Chelm believe that they are the smartest people in the world. But the truth be told is that, well, I can tell you some stories so as to illustrate this. So their idea of getting Sigmund Freud to go to Chelm was that they heard that he in Vienna was a very famous that he was a famous he was a very famous dream interpreter. And so their idea of getting him to go there was that they would all sleep in the town square, all the women, children, and men all together, just simply sleep out in the open, and that they would make a big giant dream in order to get Sigmund Freud to go down and interpret the biggest dream in history. And so,
That's kind of interesting.
So yeah, that's one thing. And then there's another story. This one was from Colloquial Yiddish by Lily Kahn, the textbook. I should build a market. And so Polish winters are like very, very cold.
I
It's
can imagine.
Krakow is colder in the winter than Oslo, for example, and on average. So the fact is that there's snow in Chelm, and I need to build a siege workshop or something. What the fuck are you
I've
doing?
got all my my boats stuck in the mangroves while I'm trying to find places to find some
Yeah.
food myself. I think I'm
So
overkilling on fishing ships here.
so what was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about already.
It's alright. Don't worry about it. It's
Helm-
casual.
oh, yeah. So the Helm story. So what they were doing was, there was snow, and apparently the Helm people really, really liked this snow. And so they liked the snow so much that they didn't like the fact that it got dirty when people walked all over it. And so they instituted a law that said that no one should walk on the snow. And so what happened was they occurred to them, well, somebody has to like go outside and tell them that you're not supposed to, you should stay at home and preserve the snow. But obviously the person who would call them, who would issue the edict, would like cry out and tell people that they should stay at home, he himself would get the snow dirty with his shoes. And so the solution they decided on was that he would be carried by 4 other people, and so that he wouldn't get the shoes dirty.
That
So
is
that's-
interesting. I've never heard of that, but I, as a Wisconsinite, I definitely understand that snow looks pretty at first. It does not look pretty after it's been trampled on. But
Yeah, but definitely there is very much another issue at play here, in which, oh wait, am I the only one who's, okay, I guess I have to keep quiet about what I'm doing so far. Okay. Doing there. Okay. Shut up with your gold please antics right now.
yeah, they're harassing me too. Oh, I didn't even realize I had a. I forgot about that guy. I had a scout that I didn't remember.
Okay. I'm also gonna need to build a university as well. Okay, university. Alright. So you.
We've got plenty of wood. Let's get some of you guys on something else.
Okay. If I hear any more gold, please. Like, I know I do have a lot of, but okay, that's dandy.
They're ahead. But if I know anything about this game, it's that human players kind of start off slow compared to the AI.
Well, at least they don't get like a bajillion advantages. The CPU doesn't get a bajillion advantages the same way it did. And well, I think Age of Mythology on Titan difficulty was by far the biggest offender in this respect.
Yeah.
Okay, you.
Excuse me.
Okay. A farm. Okay, I want crop rotation. Do you have crop rotation? Good. Okay, do you have chemistry? No, not yet. Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, I should totally do like a Minecraft. Am I the only one in the Imperial Age yet?
Looks like, yeah.
Okay, I think I know. Come on, monkey. Get over here.
Whatever, I'll put it here.
All these mangroves.
Yeah, they're frustrating, aren't they? Just put
Yeah,
there.
the mangroves are getting in my way. Like an entire wall of them. You seem to be working better. Block me from the relic better than actual walls.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if you can you even harvest those mangroves, or do they just?
I think, I honestly don't know, but I remember seeing a lot of them in Fiji, and,
Well, I mean, harvest them
yeah,
in the game.
I think so. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to make some more houses. Shut up, Mr. Gold, please.
Yeah, I'm getting wood, please. Why did I do that? Why don't I just do this?
Get relic.
Wood, please.
On boat. I have to admit that the Burmese show all the relics at the start is quite... I don't know, it's sort of like stealing candy from a baby for me. Part of me. Unethical. Benefiting. Okay, I need to build a market. Oh, I already did, but... Actually, no, you don't. But as you can tell, Chase, can you still hear me?
I can't hear you. I can hear you fine. I'm just focusing
Okay,
on my
fine.
ships.
Well, I don't want to just simply vanish
No,
as a result
I
of.
get it. I'm focused on the game too, but it's fine.
Seems that somebody advanced to the Imperial Age. Lovely.
I know how to fix this issue.
All right. I don't think I'm getting the. I don't think I'm getting the what's his face accomplishment this game. The Marco Polo.
Yeah, this is a big map. I love how they keep expanding the maps in these games. So, by the way, if anyone is curious, this game is Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. So it's a game that originally came out in the early 2000s, but has repeatedly been remade. HD Edition, now Definitive Edition, and they keep adding more and more to it. But generally, it's just an empire, not even an empire building game. You build a little town that kind of represents a different civilization, and you just construct based off of that. Very, kind of stylistically, it's similar to StarCraft or Command and Conquer. Would you agree with that or no?
Oh yeah, except for I really haven't played any of those other games, but that does sound like an extremely accurate assessment. I remember the first time I got the Conqueror's Trial, all the way back when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
I was so damn confused. I didn't even know that you were supposed to use like any of the left click buttons for anything. Which, chemistry research complete. Okay, I don't think I'm supposed to be revealing one. I still haven't researched Loom yet. What a...
Gold, please.
Okay, just... go all the way over here.
There we go. Overkilled that.
Alright.
Wood, please.
So I got to figure out how to get these mangroves. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. First thing, I'm going to do some testing.
Yeah, I guess you've gotten to taste the mangrove's wrath.
Well, I just
Okay.
don't want to end up in a situation where I can't get wood because I'm getting pretty strong with the navy here. Although, what is this? Why is it that I'm not attacking this guy? Is my diplomacy set? Which one's diplomacy again? They seem to all be set on... What is going on with my diplomacy settings? Can't seem to get it. So anyways, Jared, do you want to explain... Yes, you said you got into languages when you were a little kid, but exactly how did that start? What was the first trigger?
The first trigger, I think, in a sense, was I think there were a lot of tools and toys and references to programs like Sesame Street or what have you. But one significant issue was, oh my gosh, are they just simply blowing up my docks? That's fine and dandy. Okay. So to answer your question, yeah, I think it really started at first with various pop culture things. And then what happened was, where are my elephants?
I'm being attacked. So first things first, get on here, see if we can get you guys...
So,
Wood, please.
alright, well, I guess I would tell the story, but I do know that if this has to if this does continue, then...
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way right now. Like, alright, well, let's,
Alright.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna survive this, Jared.
What happened?
There is a giant Green Bay Packer, green and yellow, swarm taking me out right now. And I don't think my castle's gonna survive this. I think I'm pretty much out. There are so many boats right here, I did not expect this.
I'm really sorry.
It's all right. I don't even know if it's worth trying to defend.
Actually, oh yeah, I can now see the giant, the swarm.
I don't know what I'm
Oh,
going to do to survive this one here, Jared. It's looking pretty over for me.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think first I need to Arambais and okay, Arambais and elephants, and hope that I can manage to, despite my poor strategy, somehow get everything to work.
This guy in the corner.
Okay, do I even have a fucking stable?
What is the point? What is the
Oh, there
point?
it is. Okay.
This is a joke. One thing I know for sure is I need a university, and I need to.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I didn't research murder holes.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna have to get some chemistry going. As a matter of fact, I'm getting everyone on that.
However, I do think I'm going to take a page out of your book, Chase, and build lots of farms.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be doing fishing ships, but my fishing fleet is quite literally non-existent now.
Okay. How affairs?
Or not
wait,
extant.
hold on. Where the
I don't
fuck
know.
am I? Oh, I don't have any more gold, so I guess it's just simply relics for me now.
Wood, please.
Okay. Relics and everything else in trash units, and hoping I get to survive.
Yeah, I'm going to be making some more farms because I don't think fishing fleet is going to be feasible at this point. I don't know what is going to be feasible at this point.
I don't have any gold on my island. Great.
It looks like they're backing off. I don't know what triggered this, but they don't seem to care that I'm
No.
Please.
Is there any way to stop this though? I think I might
I'm
need to
probably gonna end up returning with some assholery like a, oh, what's it, like a cannon galleons and stuff. Okay.
On the bright side, it seems I've researched the things I need to have defendable positions. I need.
Yeah. Well, I think there's no way I'm getting off this island right now.
Me either. They are tough. So I think I'm going to also try to explain a little bit of my history with, while I get destroyed by the computer, my history with language learning. Pretty much as a kid, my father was a Spanish teacher. I at an immersion school, and that exposed me to Spanish from the ages of about 3 to how old was I? I'm gonna say I was probably about 3 to 10ish. Transferred to a school which was not a language related at all. It was just an English language Catholic school. While I was there, I got into Japanese media the same way everyone else gets into Japanese media. I'm definitely aware of the stereotypes. A lot of anime, manga, stuff like that. These villagers are dead. I'm not even gonna try. So then, after that, jeez. Middle school.
They're trying to take down my monastery. How dare they? Okay, guess we're just simply gonna have to go further inland because.
Middle school, I got more into. Is this thing firing? I got more into manga. Manga got me into watching things that were in Japanese. I ended up developing a habit of matching the subtitles to the words I was hearing because the vowels in Japanese and Spanish are identical, and I had Spanish exposure. That developed further into me collecting a bunch of words, kind of one day realizing like, oh hey, I'm figuring this language out. Went along, learned katakana, hiragana. Um, Time passes a little bit. I think, I really got focused on learning the language when I was about 14. A little bit after Howl's Moving Castle came out. I remember that was a topic around then that I was interested in, although I never saw the movie. Jeez, there's just ships everywhere, man. I have no way out. I think I'm going to be trapped on my island here, Jared.
You're not alone, apparently, but for some odd reason, I wish my ally, instead of beating you up, would beat up some of the people who are beating me up. So...
Anyway, I could. This might be a bad...
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough here. I'm trying to sell some of my food and wood for gold, and then trade it off.
Okay, guess what I got?
And
This
you
is
know
our
what?
last stand.
That is your last stand. I'm not even going to be able to get to you, Jared.
Okay. Well, I think that you can,
What's going on here? Why can't I build a...
Oh, it's interesting that I've actually been to this wonder place in real life. Although one thing I definitely will need to do is rebuild a market. Okay, market. Bonk. Alright, they're
pathetic.
probably gonna return with cannon
Just go there.
galleons and all that fun stuff. Okay.
So yeah, 14 to about, let's say, 19, I was going absolutely crazy with vocabulary. And I learned when I was about 17 things like conjugation, which I didn't really understand before that. That's one of the things that going to a class actually helped me with. Although I had some understanding of it just from reading things on Google beforehand. Then when I was about, it was almost exactly at the New Year's Eve 2010, I started to go pretty crazy with characters so I could learn to read and write. I became obsessed with vocabulary and the amount of vocabulary I needed to learn the language, to speak it well. And, my goal was really to be indistinguishable from a native speaker. This turned into me learning a lot about kind of linguistics topics, word frequency, things like that. Then I got pretty busy between 2013, and it's continued now. I haven't focused on Japanese quite like I had in that 2-3 year period in the beginning of the 2010s. Just work, stuff like that. When it was about 2016, I went to Japan, didn't have any issues. I already knew that I'd learned using mostly Anki and memorization. I'm going to say about, I think I got up to past about 9,000 words. And I'm not memeing there. It was over 9,000 words. And my characters, the characters that I could read and write were probably somewhere around 2,500. A little less than what I have now, although I use them less now too. So I'm sure there's some that I'm rusty on. This game is so pointless for me. Jared, how's everything looking over there? Should I just invest in...
Well, if you want to go ahead and try to knock my wonder down, you're welcome to go ahead and try.
Are you okay
My
with becoming an
elephant
ally,
bot-
and then I could watch the destruction of your wonder?
How do I put it? Are you allowed to join my team?
You know what? You're right. I think I locked the teams, and that's why this was looking weird to me earlier.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we were intending for it for a free-for-all, or did they not make free-for-alls possible in this game?
Why do I have ships still floating around?
Okay, I'm gonna have to make houses. Alright. Bonk.
Well, anyways, oh, you know what I could do? This might
What
help.
could you do?
I have an idea. To try to keep myself in the game, I'm gonna just go crazy with archers and see if I can get rid of this fleet attacking me. So yeah, 2016 and go to Japan, have no problems, enjoy it, love it, best time of my life. Realized I don't really have any issues with Japanese anymore, and I decided I wanted to start focusing on other languages. I wanted to go back to Spanish. I wanted to pick up Mandarin because I had just fallen in love with these characters, and I knew, obviously, Chinese characters are essentially the origin of Japanese characters. Not always. There's a few here and there that are originally Japanese, but yeah, it's for the most part the system is Chinese. And then, yeah, I started doing that. I learned. I started recovering some of my Spanish. I found some things out in the first couple of years. One of them being, it's. I don't think it's a good idea to learn too many languages at once, if you're already, especially if you're already busy. But what do you think about that, Jared? What do you think about people who learn multiple languages at the same time? Do you think
Well, I
it's
think it also
advisable?
depends on their learning environment, because Lord knows I think that if they live in a very multilingual area or live in a place with that's like multilingual or has diglossia, for example, then in a sense they'd like, for example, Barcelona. In which case I think that it might actually work tremendously well. But that said, I think that if it requires you truly soaking in things, then yeah, it can be a significant challenge.
Yeah, you kind of have to recognize me. I'm from the United States. I don't have terribly recent immigration history in my family. Most of my ancestors who came to the United States, from my understanding, came about 100 years ago. So they would have been my great grandmother who I never met. And it's different for people of immigrant. It's different for people who have more recent immigration in their family. But for me, it's definitely not a. I'm just a basic. English would have been my only language of exposure, unless it was, if it were not for my father and the fact that he was a Spanish major, and he, how do I say this? He exposed me to Spanish as a kid, and oh God, this is tough trying to focus on your game and also speak at the same time.
Yup.
But whatever, it's casual. And yeah, I mean,
But is my yellow ally failing?
is your yellow? Yellow is your ally?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, no, is it?
Well, I think they were on
Yeah.
random, which would make sense. Again, I am not looking at this clearly enough. Who are my allies? As a matter of fact, I
Oh,
think you are my ally.
Okay.
Who are these guys? These guys are the Indians.
Sorry, I think my Burmese suffered. But it's been a while since I've done anything Burmese, although I think definitely at some point before I die, I'd have to learn enough of it in order to understand all of those fantastic cover songs. Or more accurately, copy songs is probably, yeah, I think they're called like Tatin copy. Yeah, Myanmar used to be a very, very repressive place in which like all outside music was forbidden. And so one thing they did in order to get around it was that they pretty much dolled up music from many other places with Burmese lyrics and then just simply shipped them to market.
Oh yeah, I think you were
And
telling
the
me about
fact
that.
is that this... Did I tell you about this?
You were telling me a little bit about it. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, but I've also, I think in China as well, there also are quite a lot of copy songs. Is that more for completely different reasons, I would imagine?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, Mr. Enemy is in your town. We are going to try to help you. But actually, I think that the whole... Yeah, my 5 fire ships are not taking out that admiralty. Sorry to burst your bubble.
You know what? I'm in a position of just not caring at this point. I have no hope.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think that the dynamics has really made it... Oh my gosh, what the hell are you doing here? And I can't upgrade these fire ships. Damn it. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to result in the turtle strategy and hope they don't employ cannon galleons or, heaven forbid, landfall. Okay. And then we're gonna use the other chase strategy, which is infinite trash units, which...
Yeah, I mean, it works, right? I am also officially out of wood, so I can't create any more. My only hope at this point right now, Jared, is that you come and create a blockade around me to keep the enemy away from me, and then I can go and get wood from somewhere else, because I am pretty much just out of wood, and I'm actually gonna delete my last few farms because they're pointless. What's the point of having these farms if yeah.
Do I get cannons? Yeah, I do. So I'm thinking maybe I can call them... I was thinking of a stupid joke, like as you say hello in Burmese, like Mingalaba, means like common auspiciousness, and so I could call them Mingala bombs. I'm just being an asshole. Also, I have cleaned my entire island of almost all wood.
I have an idea.
What?
I'm gonna try to get some trebuchets, but I'm gonna put them so far away from the shore that these ships cannot hit them, and just use these trebuchets as a something to counter. Is my market here? Yeah, market's here. I need to sell some food.
I think the sooner the time goes to 0, the more I can expect landfall and the all-out attack. I know how the definitive edition AI works, and they're going to throw everything at my poor wonder. Okay.
Is this a range I can handle?
Wood, please.
Shut up.
That's too far. Alright, so my goal is going to be to lure the ships a little bit closer to me with these trebuchets.
What's the population limit in this game?
500 for this one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a doozy.
This is why I didn't play Malay, because I feel that I would be merciless towards people's computers. That's... Even I have standards. Aye.
So what color are you? You are red, and your wonder seems to be happily surviving over there.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful building. Do you know what building that's based off of?
The Spartagon, yeah, I've been there.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. God, that looks so cool. How big is that in real life?
Oh, very good question. I'll probably say, I'm trying to draw, comparisons, like probably around 35 times the height of my apartment.
Oh, okay. And how many stories is your apartment?
I was talking about the the height of the room I'm currently in to the ceiling.
Oh, okay. 35 times that. All right. So that's a big building. It's
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many
It's, I think,
amazing.
one of the largest gold structures in the world.
Is that entirely made of gold?
Yeah, I think.
Oh wow.
Okay.
It's not just plating. It's
Yeah.
wow. That's pretty cool.
And also there are lots of fountains nearby, and obviously you probably knew this, but you're not allowed to wear any leather shoes nearby because that's the presence of death.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't expect that.
Okay. I'm gonna have to rebuild my dock after the assholes destroyed it. Alright.
Yeah, I'm trying to rebuild the dock right as you're saying that too.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna survive this, man. I'm getting a trickle of gold at least because of that one relic I've got. So maybe that should be my next objective. See if I can sneak a transport ship across, grab that other relic, and maybe then I can escape this this hell that I've created for myself. I have no wood left, so this transport ship is going to be my last hope.
Okay. I'm gonna be a true coward, and I'm going to wall up my thing with even more castles. I sold everything to get it. Okay, what the hell are you guys?
Do we even have enough wood for... We do. We have enough for a lumber yard. And I'm going to put that lumber yard as far south as I absolutely can in the hopes that these guys can survive. As a matter of fact, I'm also going to put...
Okay. You inspired me to build a lumber yard, lumber camp too. Okay. Max up my infantry. So. Oh, also, yeah, I should get a skirmish. By the way, I'm going to unpopular opinion concerning Burmese and Age of Empires 2. I actually didn't find the Balinong campaign to be all that difficult.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's a mission where people talk about in the Joan of Arc campaign that is supposedly notoriously difficult too. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Siege of Paris?
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
Siege of Orleans?
I think I did that the first
fourth
try.
one. The one that you have to get all the villagers out and you can't get any more.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think I, for some reason, did that the first try, and I'm frankly just not that great
And
at this
not
game.
into China? Yeah, into China was fucking hell. Yeah. But I believe the Forgotten Empires, who worked on HD and also Definitive Edition, they said that the Gajamada, the second one, Unconditional Loyalty, is probably the hardest one in the whole game. And I beat it, but apparently I literally almost tore my hair out in order to do it. It's like... I'll use the Yiddish expression like, I would not wish such a thing even on my worst enemies. Yeah.
Oh shoot, are we being attacked again? Yeah, we are. Okay, but we have them at bay. They are not...
Okay, I'm gonna have to invest in the skirmishers because they're probably gonna be...
I am Imperial Age, though. So.
Bring everything they have. Okay. If I manage to win this, because they just simply can't even bother to use a land force.
Yeah. Well, hey, you could probably create a pretty strong defense of that, and I see you have a lot of castles around it. Luckily, I'm on your team.
Wood, please.
It was not intentional. Somebody's begging me for wood right now, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to deal with them. Screw them.
Oh, I'll send them wood. Who's asking for wood?
It doesn't matter. I don't even remember. I am just concerned about surviving. You know what? Let's get a couple more of these up.
Alright. I think I'm gonna make some more. Oh, okay, what do I get? Battle Island? How would I? Yeah, I'm gonna make that. Okay, what other things I need? Okay. I don't really need Manipur cavalry right now. Okay. When are you guys gonna do... I feel like there's supposed to be an epic showdown that's gonna wreck me, but... be careful what you wish for, Jared.
Right. I'm getting a little bit nervous here because I'm moving a little bit out from the corner that I've grabbed for my wood collection in the mangroves.
Okay, more Aram buys. If these guys do not end up throwing a single dart, the whole damn... Come on, punk.
Please take out that fishing ship. Oh, is that allied? Oh, he's an ally. Okay.
Come on, punks, go ahead and get the gold. Need to build more houses. Okay. Or...
We're already at an hour and 37 minutes.
But also, if you play on a higher
yeah.
difficulty, doesn't it actually, I mean...
Fastest 2.0, so it's probably closer to 45 minutes right now. I am not giving you wood, buddy. So, another thing that I feel that with language learning, if you're already busy, you don't want to spread yourself too thin. But something that I've come to the conclusion more recently is that you've to control your energy and your motivation. I used to thought it was kind of cliche for people to say, how did they word it? Don't do anything that bothers you. Don't force yourself too much. I mean, I still am gonna make myself do my character reviews every day because I want to know how to
Yeah.
write, and I don't feel like um, I think it'd be hard to learn to be able to write in Japanese or Chinese or languages that use that type of script where you need to memorize so many thousands of characters. Um, I mean, I could write letters to people, but I think that would be more boring than just
Yeah.
making Anki decks. I use Tagai Nijisho, copy and paste
Yeah.
the characters, and then I have a huge Google Docs list of characters as I encounter them that I slowly trickle into my decks. And
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think I could stop doing that. It's just become
Yeah.
too
I
much a
think
part of
that
my system.
Katsumoto and others, I think Matt versus Japan to another degree too, that they also very much emphasize. In any case, they emphasize the lizard brain. I think it's the limbic system in which, yeah, the brain does things that are pleasurable and avoids things that aren't. And in
Yeah,
a sense, if you really skew your language learning activities to pleasurable things, then you're going to actively want doing it. To do.
that makes sense. And it also
Yeah.
makes life easier because you're not going to work and then feeling like you have to come home from a 10-hour shift just to do more work. All right, Jared, I've got a fleet
Exactly.
going, so I could probably escape my area because nobody's here. I'm realizing that
I
I am
also
free.
don't think we're on the same team, if you remember. Well, did you change the team?
Hold on. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we are. You are my enemy. I'm not reading this correctly because I'm just spending too much processing power on talking, but that's fine.
Okay, well, I guess this means you could try to take down the Wanderer if you'd like.
If I
But
liked, but I don't like. I don't want to. I don't care.
yeah, it's just simply too pretty. It's too pretty, although these would please allies.
I have been defeated. All right, so I guess we're just
I'm
gonna leave
sorry to
that
hear that.
there. No, it's all right. Um, so in conclusion, for our recent the recent part of our conversation, you agree with me that you should find ways to make language learning pleasurable, but how would you go about doing that? What kind of things would you do to um, kind of
Well, I think that a lot of comedy things, as well as significant series that are based on things that you really love.
mhm.
So I think so for the early stages, in some respects, you
Oh, you cut out a little bit. Are you there? I guess that's that. All right. So this is my first video. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be continuing to do this language, history, culture, and these types of discussions while playing video games. Oftentimes, the video games are going to be related to language, history, and culture. Just give you something to listen to while you're doing your stuff. It's not necessarily supposed to be too. Uh, it's not going to require too much of anybody's attention. This is just something to do to listen to while you're going about your day. And yeah, I hope that someone enjoys this. Thanks for watching and take care.